This podcast is intended for mature audiences 18 years and over. Everything in this podcast is my opinion. Please feel free to do your own research. You've found your way here to the in-between, where silence holds stories and shadows remember what the light tried to forget. Welcome to Luna Beyond the Veil, a place for the misremembered, the misnamed, and the mythic. This is a special bonus descent, a moment outside of time where we peel back the stories that we have inherited and look for the truth beneath the curse. I am Luna, and tonight we walk into legend with eyes wide open, not to banish the dark, but to learn how to speak its language. Let's begin. Before the serpents, before the stone, before the gaze that turned men into myth, there was a woman, a priestess, a sacred vessel. And like too many women in both myth and memory, she was violated and punished for it. Together, as we descend into shadow and truth, we meet Medusa, not as a monster, but as a survivor, sacred rage, and sovereign goddess. The version that you may know is Ovid's. He is a Roman poet. In Metamorphoses, Medusa is a mortal priestess of Athena, renowned for her beauty, devoted to her vows. She is violated by Poseidon upon the sacred altar of Athena's temple. And in that aftermath, it is not the god who faces consequence. It was Medusa. Athena, enraged and perhaps complicit, transforms her. She twisted her beauty into terror, her hair into serpents, her gaze into stone. Medusa's tale isn't just punishment, it's legacy of power misused, of silence enforced, of beauty weaponized and turned against its bearer. Feminist scholars have long read this story not as mythic justice, but as mythic victim blaming. Medusa becomes a symbol of how women are punished, not for what they do, but for what is done to them. So let's take a look at some modern parallels, starting with the silencing of survivors, a movement focused on raising awareness about harassment and SA, particularly in the workplace. The vilification of women who speak truth to power, referring to the tendency for women who challenge authority or established norms to face intense criticism, negativity, and even abuse. Then we have Cassandra. In Greek mythology, she was a Trojan priestess dedicated to the god Apollo and fated by him to utter true prophecies, but never to be believed. She symbolizes a figure whose prophetic abilities are ignored and ultimately leads to their demise. Despite the accuracy of her warnings, she is a cautionary tale about the dangers of dismissing voices of wisdom and the burden of knowledge when those warnings are ignored. And then we have Me Too, a social movement focused on raising awareness about harassment and SA, particularly in the workplace. Medusa is not the monster. She is what survives monstrosity. Refusing to be destroyed, Medusa becomes a guardian, not of temples, but of boundaries, of women, of herself. Her gaze no longer a curse, but a weapon of defense. It petrifies not the innocent, but those who come to harm, to take, to violate. In ancient Greece, her image was carved on shields, over doorways, etched into armor. The Gorgon used not to evoke fear, but to ward it off. Medusa didn't ask to be feared. She became powerful when she stopped asking for permission. Psychologically, Medusa becomes the shadow, the rage, the wildness, the autonomy, that patriarchal myth that has always feared in women. She is our anger when they tell us to calm down. She's our voice when they say be quiet, our power when they say we're too much. She is the shadow made visible, not evil, but honest. So, how do we honor a goddess that's forged in pain, but reclaimed in power? We create space, not just in our homes, but in ourselves. If you would like to set up an altar, choose a space of stillness, preferably facing east toward the light of new transformation. You'll want to gather a mirror, not for vanity, but for truth. Gather snake imagery, symbols not of evil, but of rebirth. And of course, your crystals such as obsidian or black tourmaline, as they are for shadow work and protection. You cannot forget a small bowl of salt water, her oceanic origin, her sorrow, and a candle, whether that be black, red, or deep green, and one personal token, something that has survived with you. Now, some ritual ideas that you can try would be mirror gazing meditation. Sit before the mirror and gaze. Don't look at yourself. Look through yourself and whisper, in this face, I see fire. In these eyes, fierce desire. What they feared, I now reclaim. My power, my voice, my sacred name. You can also offer your words, maybe a letter to the parts of yourself if you were ever told to be silent. Burn it, bury it, give it to Medusa, who knows what it's like to be silenced. And then we have the Gorgon's breath protection spell, very simple and short. Light your candle, do it with intention. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And recite, O Gorgon Queen, see what I cannot. Turn fear to stone and shield my heart. Let no harm find me in shadow or light. In your gaze, I claim my right. Some offerings for your altar could be as simple as garlic or onions. They are traditional, they are earthy. You could offer red wine or pomegranate as they're essential and sacred. Perhaps a braided black cord that's snake-like as it offers protection. And of course, art, poetry, sketches, offerings of your reclaimed voice. Let's talk about the misconceptions of Medusa. I would like to uncoil a few myths. The first, Medusa was always a monster. No, she was a mortal woman first. Her monstrosity was not inherited. It was punishment. She is not a villain. She is a victim turned guardian. 2, her gaze was evil. No, it was not aggression. It was defense. In ancient times, her face protected sacred places and spaces. Her gaze says, I see you and I don't flinch. And then we have 3. she deserved her fate. Absolutely not. Her beauty was not an invitation. Her punishment was not justice. She embodies the cost of patriarchal vengeance. 4. Perseus was the hero. Absolutely not. He killed her in her sleep. He used her head as a weapon. He didn't slay a monster. He silenced a force he could not understand. And then we have 5. She symbolizes evil. She symbolizes everything that challenges power. She is not chaos. She is consequence. In closing, my thoughts are, Medusa is both the mirror and the mask. She is the protector who sees what others refuse. She is the rage that told you to hide, the beauty they tried to weaponize, the voice they tried to erase. If the world ever called you monster for surviving, then let Medusa crown you goddess for rising. You are not alone. You are not too much. You are powerful because you are still here, and she walks beside you. If you have made it this far, you've touched something ancient, something uneasy and sacred. Here in the dark, nothing is as simple as good or evil. Only what survives, only what transforms. Thank you for stepping beyond the veil with me. If you have felt seen, unsettled, or stirred, please know this. That's the point. The myth never ends, and neither does the path back to your own power. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, and when they call you monster, smile. They're just afraid you're going to remember. Blessings to those who walk the shadow path with eyes open and hearts armored in flame. Walk bravely, speak fiercely, and gaze back. As an extra bonus, I would like to share a poem to close out that was sent to me by a dear friend, and it touched my heart. O mighty Medusa, crowned not with gold, but with serpents, each scale a secret, each hiss a hymn of warning. You, who were made monster by the trembling of men, we see you now, unveiled and sovereign. Once a maiden, pure and prayerful, sanctified in the temple's quiet glow, your body was stolen, your voice unheard, and they called you cursed. Not the God who broke you, but oh, how you rose. Not in silence, not in shame, but with eyes that turned injustice to stone. What they feared was not your face, but the fury of a woman wronged. You are the wild hair, the fierce gaze, the whisper that says enough. You are the guardian of boundaries, the keeper of sacred rage. To the daughters who burn with unspoken pain, to the mothers who hold worlds inside their ribs, to the witches, the healers, the wild ones. Medusa, you are our mirror, our myth, our medicine. We do not fear your power. We honor it. We reclaim you from the cold stone myths, paint you in the colors of resistance and rebirth. For every woman whose truth was turned to terror, you are the justice waiting in the dark. O serpent-crowned sister, may your name rise not in dread but in devotion. For in you, we see not a monster, but the face of sacred womanhood, unbroken, unyielding, divine. Thank you. Until next time.